Just rolled in for maintenance. No fault codes present. Witchcraft. That's still functioning. All cylinders still firing. Send it.
You're stupid.
We know this.
How you doing? I'm Nick, and I'm the lead mechanic here at the Dorman Proving Grounds Garage.
I'm Lemmy. I have worked in every corner of the automotive industry. So the crack automotive experts here at Dorman have put together a string of videos and photos that we have not seen. Nick, have you seen these?
No.
I haven't seen these
Not
either.
yet.
I think all this stuff was pulled from Reddit. Our mechanics are just rolled into the shop, and it says here, our mechanic advice. So we're gonna react to the fine folks on Reddit. How does this work? We gotta hit the space bar there, I think. So when pressing on the gas pedal, the throttle valve does not open. Also, EPC light is on dash. Audi A4 B5 1.8 turbo. Before we jump
Take it to the
in,
dealer.
I was saying before we jump in, I just want to say this is checking a lot of the boxes in the I don't want to deal with this question. German car, check. Turbo, check. Fly-by-wire throttle, check. EPC light on dash, special German scanner probably required.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's going on. Yep, well, that throttle's definitely not opening.
Probably needs a throttle body.
This is a video of nothing. That's the funny part. He's showing the problem is just not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he needs a throttle body. Definitely need to replace that throttle body.
3.1, 1993 Lumina. I gotta stop right here. All the years behind a parts counter, my immediate instinct is to ask Lumina car or Lumina van. Sir, is that a Lumina car or a Lumina van? Because it was, Chevy in their infinite wisdom was selling two completely different vehicles with the same name. Anywho, 3.1, 1993 Lumina. White smoke from exhaust. Oil cap has water droplets, but no milkshake. Exhaust smells like raw fuel. Oil dipstick smells of gas too. Well, right off the bat, I don't know about you. Maybe rings?
Yeah, spent rings.
Think of some bad rings.
Yep.
Let's see what we got.
Is that the oil fill? That's the oil fill.
No, that's a coolant. Look, there's a
Oh,
clamp.
okay.
There's a hose clamp. I think that's the
I
coolant.
got you. All right.
They're rad.
I was gonna say, wow.
I mean, but this also could be, I don't know. I still tend to think rings though if he's smelling fuel from the exhaust.
Yeah, I mean, but this is a whole separate thing. This looks like a head gasket.
Yeah, I don't think that's wrong, but I guess if it had bad rings, couldn't the crankcase pressure be pushing back up?
Into coolant? There shouldn't, crankcase
right,
doesn't
you're
mix
right.
with the coolant. So
Well,
if there was a head gasket
you had,
problem.
yeah, I was just thinking if you had bad, yeah, you're right. That probably is two totally different things.
Yeah.
I did not.
That's different than what he described.
Well,
I
it
think
wasn't the video either of us expecting
No,
to
definitely
see.
not.
That's
Take it
for
to a
sure.
mechanic.
Yeah,
you definitely need to take this one to a mechanic.
Yeah, well, no, now you're just giving the guy bad advice.
What do you mean?
It's a 1991 Lumina. Don't take it to a mechanic. Take it to a salvage yard.
Was it 93?
That doesn't matter. Come on, it's a Lumina. Oh goodness. Take it to a mechanic. Yeah, with that thing, just say a blessing, put it in a casket, send it on its way.
You need a new car. Need new engine mounts, or is this okay? All right, let's see. Perfectly fine.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I will say though, I have seen a couple of these on Reddit where they'll have the thing running and somebody will goose the throttle and you see the motor climbing out of the engine.
Oh, yeah.
It's like running out of there.
Oh, yeah.
This is great. This is absolutely
That's
fine.
exactly what the mounts are supposed to do.
Yeah, just flex a little bit. That's good stuff.
All right.
Oh, this is all you.
Ford Transit, 1994, banana engine, smiley, water leaking underneath, draining the coolant tank, but what is the leak? Water pump, coil spring, something else? Please help. What? Did I just read?
Let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
Ford Transit 1994. Unless this is in another country, that doesn't make any sense because I don't think we had 1994 Ford Transits here. Let's set that aside. Banana engine, smiley.
I don't know what any of that means.
Water leaking underneath, draining the coolant tank, but what is a leak? All right, we've gotten to a part of this question now where I understand maybe what's going on. Water pump, okay, I'm following. Coil spring. Not sure I'm following. Something else, please help. All right, now let's look at this. Sorry, now that I've laughed at this, understood what's happening here. Oh, that's good. Is this a diesel, or does it just sound like a diesel?
Sounds like a diesel, but... Yeah, I'm gonna say
somewhere
water.
farther north.
Yeah, I'm gonna say water pump.
Oh, here we go. Hi guys. Turns out it is the water pump garage. Quoted me L610, or what's L610?
Isn't that like pounds? Pounds?
What, they charge by the weight for the repairs?
It's UK, bro.
Bro, this is America.
The video is not in America,
We
clearly.
use freedom monies here. Yeah, got him. So this video is shot from underneath, right? So one of the tricks that I use, I'm sure you do it too, is if there's a leak somewhere, before I go to UV dye or something like that, I'm usually just trying to find how high the leak goes up, because leaks naturally want to fall. Like, so the engine, you know, as the car's moving down the road, stuff may blow backwards, you know, due to the air, you know, as the car cuts through it, but things don't ever move up, right? Like leaks don't ever go upwards. So in this case, you've shown me the bottom of the leak, which is great. I know where the coolant is coming from. Now I'm gonna look straight above that to see where the next dry spot is. And to your point, water pump probably be a great spot since we're right here under the belts.
I'm sure they're all happy that you explained how water does not go up. It's very helpful, especially when you're diagnosing leaks, so.
Gravity.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I really, in fairness, before we get on to the next thing, I really do hope that was a diesel.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, you still want to get on into the shop. You need a little more than a water pump.
So it took forever to put this back together like a dingus. And now that I'm cleaning everything up, this side is free. And I've disconnected it, but I've got no play in here whatsoever. I'm not trying to force it, but I'm wondering how I am or what I can use.
Firstly, you can't say bad words like that. What is your direction?
I have no idea.
The first thing you want to do
Flip it
is
upside down.
Nope, you want to force it. Get something there, a pry bar or something. Force it. You need to force that thing into submission.
If there were two shops, which one would you go to? That shop or this shop?
Yeah, you obviously don't want to force it. I mean, there's something that's hung up there.
I'm going to say take it back apart and see what you're missing from one side to the other side, because the one side was operating properly.
So what I'm wondering, just in looking at that, what I'm wondering too is if maybe he has that rod flipsy daisy, because there's two holes for every one of the butterflies. Right. Maybe he has it like flipsy daisy, and they're offset a little bit to keep that from happening.
Yeah, if he took it apart and put it back together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So follow Nick originally said, just take it apart by
disassemble it.
Right.
Again. And if you haven't disassembled it, you have to disassemble it, because you got to figure out what's wrong with it.
This video shows you having done a bad job. Go back and do a good job, and you should be set to go.
Right. Yeah.
Just rolled in for maintenance. No fault codes present. Witchcraft. Well, I mean, it's still working as designed if you think about it.
A little electrical tape, maybe?
You know what? I don't even know that needs a repair. I gotta be honest. That's still functioning. All cylinders still firing. Send it.
You're stupid.
We know this.
99 Ford, 7.3, Serpentine belt, one line straight. I pulled the tension off and put the belt back, but the belt moves right back slightly off after I started up. Any ideas how to fix this? What did he replace most recently?
What I was kind of thinking was that maybe something here has a bad bearing and is cocking. So for instance, if the tensioner had like a bad bearing and it was cocking, you know, like a little bit, it's gonna kind of start forcing it off. So like, I don't know exactly what it is, but my suspicion is if you were to take that belt off and kind of give everything a little bit of a feel, you're gonna find something with more play in the bearings than it should have. That would be that would be the first place I started looking.
Yeah, or if you had like a power steering pump done and they didn't press that pulley in far enough,
they
could drive it off.
I like what you said earlier though. Could you repeat what you said earlier about?
What was the most recent thing you replaced?
I like that a lot.
Probably the culprit.
Well, I like that too, just from a diagnostic standpoint too. I think we have tendency to think that we're infallible. Oh, I put a new part on it. I just did that. Well, you might have just done it wrong.
That's the first place I'm looking. Something was just done. That's the first place I'm looking.
Especially if I did it, because it was almost certainly done incorrectly.
I always get comebacks from this guy. 2003 Chevy Silverado. Looks like an oil leak.
I want to go back to that.
Most definitely looks like an oil leak.
2003 Silverado looks like an oil leak. Yep, it sure does.
For a long time. This is nothing new.
We got droplets forming too.
Yeah.
So again, you made fun of me about the gravity, but I'll say the same thing again here. That trick works sometimes. This is a big enough mess under here. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a hard to find leak. This is probably where I would go get some engine degreaser.
Yep.
Clean out as much stuff as I could, let it dry as good as I could, and then probably drop some put some UV dye in that oil and start looking for leaks afresh. Because this is leaking so hard. I think you would probably see the UV dye start seeping.
I'm going to guess there's multiple leaks.
On an 03 Chevy Silverado?
And he's just ignored them for a long, long time.
Surely you jest. I'm surprised.
And maybe his wife is complaining about a spot on the driveway now.
I mean, as someone who owns multiple Harley Davidson vehicles, leaking oil means that there's still oil in it. So that's not the worst thing in the world. Was my odometer rolled back? I can tell you already the answer is no. I am second owner. First owner had the PCM replaced under warranty, opened YTech for the first time to see it reporting 10,019 more miles than the dash. Has anyone seen this before? No codes related to odometer issues since my odometer rolled back. I would make the argument that your ECM was probably replaced.
Right.
For whatever it's worth, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I've known plenty of scummy used car people, and I don't know a single one who has rolled odometers back.
Right.
I don't think it's actually worth it's worth the work, right? A 28 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT is going to have a huge Blue Book value anyway. Taking 10,000 miles off the odometer does not affect that value in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I doubt that happened. But like you said, probably the ECM was replaced and they didn't input the actual original mileage back in it.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, so basically, depending on the vehicle, I don't know specifically on this, but depending on the vehicle, when you replace like something like an ECM, you definitely need to have that reprogrammed and paired with the rest of the system and input the mileage that was existing on the vehicle before the replacement. So something to keep in mind if you do have to replace the PCM.
What is this light? Well, to us, that's the light that says that we're going to feed our family for the week because we have a paycheck coming in. That is kind of a good question. What, brake light out would be my guess. I don't know what kind of vehicle this is.
Yeah, if he's talking about the right one, it's definitely something with
I'm
tail lights.
assuming he knows what the check engine light is. I'm also assuming this is a he. I'm just assuming a lot of things right now. I'm assuming this person knows this is a check engine light. I don't know. The year, make, and model would help us a lot, but I would immediately take a stab in the dark and say this is probably a tail or brake light out.
Yeah, it would actually also be faster to Google that light with your make and model than it would be to make this post.
It also
you could get the whole legend for all the lights on the dash.
It also wouldn't shock me if this was a German vehicle and that was a fog light.
I mean, the first step would be to open your glove box and just kind of dig in there under all your, lip balm and whatever else you got in there, and just grab that book. It's usually in a leather case, and that's where your user manual usually is. If you bought a used car, it's probably not going to be there. You probably got to hit the online, maybe Google it, and you'll find anything you need, whether it's the whole manual or if you want something specific, just Google it.
The owner's manual, you got to remember, there's a team of people out there who know all the things about your car, and they wanted you to know all the things about it, so they wrote you a little book. And 99% of you are not reading the little book. They don't even charge you for it. It comes free with the car, and nobody's reading it. I would just encourage you to crack your owner's manual, as Nick just did. This came out underneath the car today when I tarted. What is this part? Thanks.
What's tarted?
In this context, I'm not certain. It looks like this is an air filter. It looks very small. It looks homemade. This looks like a short ram hot air conversion to me.
They also clamped it on a coupler.
That looks like
coupler on coupler.
That looks like black tape wrapped around PVC to me. Electrical tape on PVC.
Right.
That looks like you got to build up that OD, get the clamping.
You're right.
I think that's what that is.
You've done some hokey stuff.
I'm not proud of all the things I've done. So we should probably address this person. So you need to figure out if this is from your car. That would be step one.
You should also comment and tell us what tarted means, because I want to know what you were doing when you found it. You know what I mean?
The person told me they were tarting.
Yeah.
yeah, you need to figure out what car that came from. You may have a perfectly functioning stock airbox in your car, which would be wonderful because you just ran over some trash on the street, or someone may have gotten very creative. And I will say, if that came out of a car I had purchased, I probably would be turning a sharp eye to everything else. You know there's a stereo wired into that car with all the same color wire. Just purple wire as far as the eye can see.
Nice.
With that fine air cleaner, I believe we're going to put a wrap on this one. We've appear to have come to the end of the internet and the car videos.
Yep. Don't forget, if you have any comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section.
There's no way they could have comments. We identified everything correctly and perfectly.
Like and subscribe. If you have any other topics, make sure you put them in the comments also. Don't forget to check out our shop press.
Yeah, make sure you sign up for some emails. Check out some of the new articles we got coming out. For Dorman Products, this is Nick. I'm Lem. We're out of here.